Hello, everyone. This is BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here with the Tech Life Weekly. And we have Miss Francine Gregory in the house, our tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we are the Biz Chicks. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Come join the conversation. We're going to be talking tech in English. In other words,
Or,
in ways that are easy to
or
understand.
yes, I was going to say, or your language of choice if you're using the translator. Okay.
Truism. Okay, with that, we want you to know that we have a great channel over there on YouTube. We'd love for you to subscribe, help us get to our 1,000 viewers so that we can begin to really get this ball rolling. Also, we want to thank all of you who are tuning in from other social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter and other places where we have a channel. We want you to know we're also over on Discord. So if you're looking to find us, you can find us everywhere under BizChicks. If you're looking to join our community, you can join our community through bizchicks.net. So we're going to get this ball rolling because we love Tech Friday. So we're going to jump right in. We always like to start with this week in tech, and Fran always gives us some insights to that. Fran, you want to get this ball rolling?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Amber, who's on our YouTube channel. Amber is excited to be here. And Amber, I did get your comment about your question, and I believe I responded to it, and then you can give us a call, or if you did, we will be getting back in touch with you. So let us get started with this day in tech history.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I like history in general. So it's history is the foundation of the things that we are experiencing right now. Just so. All right. So April 30th, 1993, at the urging of Tim Berners-Lee, the creator of the World Wide Web protocol, the directors of CERN released the source code of World Wide Web into the public domain, making it freely available to anyone without licensing fees. The decision to make the World Wide Web software and protocols freely available is considered by some as possibly the most important moment in the history of the internet. In fact, some historians mark this as the birth of the web. And that was April 30th, 1993.
Wow.
Right.
The birth of the
May,
web.
May 3rd, 1984, Dell Computer Corporation is founded by Michael Dell, running the direct-to-order PC company from his dorm room. Dell Inc. eventually became the largest manufacturer of PCs in the world for many years. It is currently surpassed by HP and Acer. Dorm room, Terry.
I know.
May 5th, 1961, NASA astronaut Alan Shepard becomes the first American in space when he makes his 15-minute suborbital flight aboard the Mercury capsule Freedom 7. He reaches an altitude of 115 miles, during which he experiences about 5 minutes of weightlessness.
Wow.
Yeah, who knew? And my last story, May 6, 1998, at the Flint Center Theater, the same place where the Mac was first unveiled in 1984, Steve Jobs introduces the original Imac. This Imac was later known as the Bondi Blue, after the color of its case, named for a beach in Australia. According to Jobs, the iMac is the internet age computer for the rest of us. Originally slated to be available in 90 days, it actually will be released on August 15th. Apple will book an unprecedented 150,000 orders before its release. marking the beginning of Apple's renaissance. It also ushered in an era of Apple adding the letter I to just about every product it created.
Mm.
But hey, Apple has over 137 billion in cash right now, so who's arguing?
Oh my gosh, I am so excited. I am an Apple fan. I I went there kicking and screaming, but once I got there and realized all of the conveniences of the different devices being able to talk to one another, always having my device at hand, whether it's my watch or my iPad, it, my phone, it was just great. So if you haven't tried it, don't knock it. Don't knock it if you haven't tried it. Give it a try. Give it a shot, people. So, Fran, I've always got a couple of stories, but what I want to talk about today
Hold on
is,
just a second. Yolanda, did you want to weigh in?
oh, I can't hear her.
I don't know if she's talking. Yolanda, did you want to weigh in on anything?
I'm sorry. It brought me on an open mic. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
No worries. Okay. Well, welcome anyway. Go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, Clubhouse has been doing some interesting things. I think that they're fiddling probably in the background. At any rate, a lot of us are going to be traveling soon. For instance, right now I'm out of state, and I was looking over here at an article about, are you traveling soon? 5 smart tech steps to take before you hit the road. So one of the things that they recommend is that you keep an eye on your stuff digitally by using trackers. Those little tags, those air tags, Apple air
I
tags.
have an air tag. I'm just gonna say,
Mm-hmm.
I use my air tag. Even when you misplace your keys in the house.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I have one on my wallet. I have one on my keys. What else do I have one on? I have one on something else that so that if I set it down someplace,
You don't have to spend all that time trying to figure out where it is. Is it still in the car? Is it in the other purse from yesterday? Where did I leave it in the kitchen? Because I tend to lay my stuff down just about anywhere. That's
I
convenient.
really, and even if you don't use the Apple AirTag, which I suggest that you do, even any type of device. There's one called Tile, I think, but
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and it looks like this because it's on my keys. Looks like this, just a little.
I'm gonna do you like this so we can see. Uh-huh.
Just a
Okay,
little
so
tag. It's on my
it's like
keys.
it's like a chain, a bob for your chain, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they say that you can put these on your dog's collar, your keychain, your bike, in your car, and they talk about 10. Here's a list of 10 things that it can do. You never misplace the remote. Safeguard your wallet or your purse, and use it for travel, which we talked about. Uh, if you have small children, might want to figure out, hey, where are they? If they're carrying a backpack or something like that on a field trip or something, or if they're just in the airport with you, you might want to put it on their backpack. Um, where's your vehicle? Bicycles, cars hiding in keys that are hiding in the strangest places, which we talked about, and any sort of electronics equipment. It's great for that. So we just suggest that you use electronic tags when you are traveling. That's just one thing to keep up with your things. Tile is the Android compatible and has a tracker. Okay.
Yep.
Also, if you're looking to track your flights easily, it says here, let me read this sentence. Send a text with the airline you're flying and your flight number, such as Southwest. This is on your iPhone, and the flight number, it might say Southwest Airlines 1175. What happens is the person who gets the message can tap on that message. It opens a flight tracker, and then they can see when you're actually coming in. They can track the flight.
Oh, so no more showing up at the airport and the flight has been delayed.
Delayed and also there is a travel hack where you can order your Uber in advance. And I know you can order in advance, but also they have a service now in some cities where they will get a message about your flight being delayed, and they won't come until the flight is on the ground, etc.
Oh,
So
nice.
I know. And you can sign up for free alerts for that. Then it says there are several photos that you need to have on your phone, and I agree with this. There are essential photos that should be on your phone um, for the worst case scenario, like if you lose your wallet, or a photo of your passport, your driver's
Mm,
license, your health insurance at a minimum. I I'd also take a picture of my credit card or whatever, just so that they know that it's really me. And I know who to call. There's a number on the back about who to call. And it says you can open the Notes app and create a new note by clicking the icon that looks like the little square with the pen, in other words, a writing tool, and then located at the bottom of the right hand of your screen on your iPhone. Tap the camera iPhone at the bottom and of your note, and you'll get the scanner, and then you can scan those documents into your phone and store them in your photos or wherever you're, or in a little folder in your Google Drive or wherever you want to put them. Uh, she says they also recommend in this article that you save your identifying documents as PDF files by saving a copy into your iOS books or on your Android, the ebook app, so that you can find it if you're offline also.
right.
Airport, they say, okay, where's your ID? At least on your phone, you'd be able to find it in the docs and bring it up on the screen. Another tip is to, well, I'm not going to go there because this will make you paranoid, but
No, it might be helpful though.
okay. It says if you are renting like an Airbnb, you want to check for cameras in some of the unusual places. They're allowed to have cameras in public spaces, but they cannot be hidden and must be disclosed in the listing description. So you want to do that.
But see, that was helpful because some people are staying in an Airbnb and not knowing that that's something that you need to check for.
Okay.
How about any hotel room?
So here's how they suggest you do it. A simple way is to spot most types of cameras is to look for the lens reflection. And you do this by turning off the lights and slowly scanning the room with a flashlight or a laser pointer, looking for bright reflections. You can scan the room from multiple spots so you don't miss a camera. And inspect the vents too, or any holes or gaps in the walls or ceilings, because anybody who would do that is probably kind of interesting to begin with. You know what I mean? So those are my tips for travel. And then if you're looking to find the most comfortable seat on the airplane, you can go to in your browser, to your Chrome extension. Look at in the browser, you can enter leg room for Google Flights. When using Google Flights, you'll also see how much legroom each seat per flight is available on the flights that you've selected. Another solid option for this is seatguru.com. So there you go. I think there's 5 tips for getting ready for upcoming trips, because this is the season. We've got a lot of pent-up travel desires. So I highly recommend that. Let's see. Mark says, check for cameras or be camera ready with the appropriate musical selections for your performance. Always travel with a feather boa. Okay.
Hey, Mark.
Oh my goodness. So thank you, Mark. I forgot to pack my boa, but I don't think I'm gonna need it. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. 5 tips, and the fact that you have a scanner in your phone, and you can scan those things right into your docs and have them available in case of an emergency. Because usually, if we're separated from our wallet, we're usually not separated from our phone, because we usually got that in our hand or whatever. So, and that's it.
I'd like to tag on to what Terry was saying. I believe Apple is toying with the idea, or with some states getting the approval for having your driver's license on the phone, kind of like in the wallet with your other things, and where it would be considered acceptable or approved for it
Yeah,
to be
a legal form of ID.
ID. Yes, and I think that should be a thing. It should have been a thing a long time ago, that you have your driver's license or your insurance card or what have you. You got a wallet on the phone. Why not put stuff in the wallet that you would normally have in a physical wallet?
It makes sense, because you got your credit cards over there. It's the same place you keep well, most of us keep our driver's license.
Mark has a comment. He says, I hope they do approve the license ID for the wallet. The vaccination card, what happened? The vaccination card in the wallet has been very helpful.
What happened was I hit the comment right after you hit it, evidently.
Oh, okay. So I think that's having that stuff accessible, because you always have your phone and you can just pop it up, and you get it for tickets and everything else. So yeah, really good, Terry. That's why you come here for Tech Life Weekly, because we're talking about tech that you can use in your everyday life. I know there's the tech that runs all of the stuff that we're using, but this is the tech that we can actually apply for our everyday lives.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that, because I plan to do a lot of traveling in the future. So I said, oh my goodness, look at these hints. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I'm complete.
Yay. Before we get on to TJ, I wanted to say there's a couple of apps for business that I have been checking out over the last week or so. Terry, she looks at me like, okay, are we doing another something? Because I'm always experimenting, because we are trying to find tools that can work for you that are simple. And when they get complicated, then I'm like, okay, I need to make a move, because we don't like convoluted
crap.
It needs to be really straightforward and simple. So here are my 3 things that I learned today or this week that I think will help simplify you. So I was working with a client yesterday, and we went into her payment processing company that she uses, and we wanted to just get a link so that she can have a link for people to click on to purchase her class and be done. Why was it a torture for us when this used to be really simple? Square. It used to be really simple.
And but now that you're a block, is Block trying to block you? They changed their name to Block, didn't they? Go ahead.
TJ, I'm not getting you. So when they teamed up with the Weebly or something, it got real complicated.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, so we couldn't do what we spent almost an hour trying to figure out how to create a purchase, a a link to her product. And then, so I went online and started looking, is there a simpler way? I went over to Shopify. Shopify is normally used for when you're buying physical merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
And so that didn't work. And I'm like, where else? And she said, well, I have a Stripe account. I was like, okay, let's go look over there. We had her link in less than 5 minutes on Stripe.
What?
Because repeat that because I had to leave. Repeat that.
Okay, so the one of our clients, we were helping them get her link for her class, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna have a class and she wanted to have a payment link, and so I do tech, so I'm gonna help her get her little link set up with her payment processor. Square
Mm-hmm.
was difficult. It was really, really difficult. Now I like Square, but it was difficult this time. Ever since they hooked up with Weebly, it got real painful to do the work. So she said, well, I have a Stripe account. I was like, okay, so let's go over there. Mm-hmm. 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I was
gonna say Stripe. I was gonna say that.
Really? 5 minutes. We had the link with a QR code.
Wow.
No drama. It was
easy peasy.
Stripe.
Yep.
It was very easy.
Once
and I was like,
once you get approved with Stripe, that's it for e-commerce, for anything, for selling digital products, physical products, links to your training, your webinar.
Mm-hmm.
Stripe.
Oh, okay.
So that is my first app. The second app I will tell you about is one that I worked on this morning. Okay, because you have heard me talk about MailChimp, and I like working. They got complicated as soon as they started up, went into it.
Yep, they're complicated now.
They're very complicated. So I went to MailerLite, not MailerLite, MailerLite.
Yep, that's a good one.
It was simple. I put together. I did a
L-I-T-H-E
landing page
or L-I.
Mailer,
MailerLite.com. It was. I did a landing page. I said a landing page in. It took me about an hour, but it could have been less if I could have figured out where the how to change a picture. But the rest of the thing was done. I was like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And their pricing.
Go there because I've never really been able to create a landing page.
And they're free up until I think it's 500, and then you can go to 1,000. Right.
It's 1,000. 1,000 contacts, and then you can do 12,000 emails a month.
Right, and then of course you can get on a paid plan and get more when you.
And the paid plan started at $10 a month.
Yeah.
I was like, and you get 3 people to help you on the account.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, that's another good one.
And unlimited landing pages.
Yep.
I was like, hold on. So this is a whole new thing. So that's 2 apps that will work. So we had Stripe, MailerLite, and my third one is a alternate to Zoom, which is called Butter.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
Yes, butter.us. So we've been using Butter, and we used it yesterday for class. Terry, what were your thoughts?
I love this. I love it because they have these little sounds. You know how when you raise your hand or you want to make a comment, they've got that down. It was very easy to say, I have a comment versus, I have a question.
I'm going to use I'm going to see if I can share my screen.
Go into to Butter and, show us what's going on. So it's butter.us.
So I'm going to share a screen. Let me see how this, because we got Chrome tabs now. Window.
And so we were using it, and I was able to make little comments, and then the comments also have sound on some of the reactions. So you know how you do a buzzer when someone got the wrong buzz, or you can go have the little drum thing. You know how people tell a little joke and you go boom at the
Yeah.
end? Like
Okay. So this is butter.
Uh-huh.
And I'm on the pro version. On the pro version, you can have, I believe, 25 rooms. So we do a class on Genesis School of Business. We do a class with BizChicks, of course. And so I'm going to go into BizChicks. So if I wanted to start a session,
you could send us the link and we can come in.
Right. I actually can do that.
Yes.
So it's welcome back. So I'm gonna copy the room link, and anybody want to join us over there,
Put it in the comment.
Yes.
So that maybe
people who want to play over there.
Somebody wants to come in and play.
Yes. So I just put it over there in the comments. And so you can maneuver around here. So here's a reaction
that for us, TJ, to Clubhouse. Yeah.
I can put it on the back channel too. I can put a link actually.
Yeah.
I'll put a link over here in the chat. Okay, now I need to get back to the chat. Oh, I got to remember how to get around on here.
And someone is asking, what is the email list site or app called? It's called MailerLite, and we put it up above the link for butter.
There it is, MailerLite.
And I'll put it up on the screen while there it is. Can you see it on the screen?
Yes. So
it's like butter. Yeah. Yes, Mark. It's like butter.
Stick of butter.
So smooth. It's like butter. And we found it to be very smooth. And it was not complicated. I was just like, oh my goodness.
Okay, so I just added the link over on Clubhouse if you want to jump over. And so we got reactions. I can do a soundboard like Terry was saying.
Oh.
And
I like that little drum.
I'm like, this is genius. So you can have notes. Like if I wanted to have my own private notes over here, the notes can then be emailed to myself or any of any of the people that are in the room. They can have their own notes emailed to themselves.
And so
the chat kind of works the same.
Yes, Beverly. So you can come into butter if you want to click on that link, or if Mark wants to click on that link, they can come into butter and join the
party. Come on, join the party. You can record, and it records and it sends you an email after the recording is done. There's Mark.
Hey, Mark.
And then you can turn on music in the waiting room.
You can upload your photo. You can take your photo right there, and then it'll appear like you see Fran's photo for your profile. He's setting up.
Yep. And my mic is muted so that I'm not blaring all over the place. But I thought this is genius right here. And here's the cool thing. This you can do webinars on. You know, on Zoom, you have to upgrade your account to be able to do webinars. So you can do webinars. There are tools in here to do webinars.
Oh, that's me.
Okay, cool.
Did you hear the music while you was waiting?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah, see, this is cool. So you can, in the toolbox, you can add a tool. Oh, we have a party over here. In the toolbox, you can have any of these items: Google Docs, Sheets, Slides. Putting a YouTube in here to play is so easy. Yes, I'm going to mute you, Terry.
Turn off my.
I just muted you. Okay, so you
Oh, we can
can
be both. Okay, let me see here. I thought we couldn't be in both. Let me go back.
look. I didn't think we could be in both either. But I'm in here. I don't have my camera turned on.
And
Oh.
I have my mic muted in Butter.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you first come in, of course, it'll tell you to test your mic and everything down on the bottom. And as you come in, so people, it's really easy. I did not have to set up there's no app to install. Like with the Z word, you have to install an app. Hey! Got TJ.
Yes. Hey.
You can set up an agenda. Like over here, you can start an agenda. So like we put up a polling question. Welcome, meet someone new in the room. If I wanted to start this poll, what would you like to learn in the next BizChicks training?
Nice.
And so there are ways to do flashcards for icebreakers and things of that nature.
Oh, cool. That's
so
real
there's
nice.
a flashcard deck. You can create a new deck, and I was like, "What? This is really nice."
Yep.
It's got whiteboard.
Mark should be in here shortly.
Somebody is ringing the bell in the waiting.
Mark Ward is setting up the audio and camera.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Chinu is in the room.
Hi.
And so you can now this doesn't go live to anywhere, but if you are looking to have a webinar, a class, a meeting,
yeah,
this is just really simple to do.
And nobody has to download any app.
I'm loving it. I'm gonna play with it.
Mm-hmm.
And our friends,
it's a great way to talk to clients.
That's exactly the point, because you can go. That's what I used it for yesterday.
And they don't have to wade through the metaverse to try to figure out where Facebook Rooms is and all of that, and where the controls. And yeah, it's clean.
And you can have up to 100 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that. That's cool. Better than Zoom.
And Beverly says it has a cute layout as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's very very easy to maneuver. I was like, okay.
She says, Beverly says, look,
like a doorbell.
Sounds like a doorbell. Oh, hi, neighbor. Remember on Mr. Rogers? Won't you be my neighbor?
Right. And the doorbell ringing. Okay. Mm-hmm. I saw somebody with a doormat that said, I hope you called first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I need that.
Oh, really? I think.
Well, no, I don't have a problem with that, but I'm of that mindset. Like, don't just pop up, family. We just in the name. No.
So I really enjoyed Butter, Fran. I really enjoyed using it yesterday. I was concerned because there've been so many changes during the course of the last 3 years. I was like, do I want to learn something else right this minute? But it turned out to be a lot easier than I anticipated. So I really encourage the use of this app because I don't like convoluted stuff, guys. So
and that's why we do this, because if we find something that works better, mm-hmm. and you just want it to be smooth. Oh, smooth as butter. Okay.
Exactly.
Because I thought my first thought was, okay, the marketing is kind of cheesy, but we just gonna roll with it. But it is good. The product works.
Mm-hmm. Sort of like Apple.
Apple butter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Mark, if I do know that if you probably need to be on Chrome if you're having issues, because you got to give it permission. you have to give
a permission to use your mic and your camera.
Mic and camera, and that's standard for any program that is that
Video.
you're going to go that has video, StreamYards, Zoom, Blue Jeans, whoever the people are, you will have to give it permission. And if you're already on something else, you probably going to need to close out that other.
He says, very interesting. I will explore later. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you'll have to close out whatever other thing is using your resources, like using your video.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Butter. So my 3 new apps that we talked about today was Stripe, woohoo, MailerLite, and Butter.
Yeah.
Is that butter.us? Did I get that right?
Yes, butter.us.
And MailerLite.
Butter us.
Yes.
And Stripe, STRIPE.
And we're still over here, and it's not hogging resources.
Yeah,
that's true.
Because normally it would be like, you need to close something else. Okay, but that's not what's happening.
And it does allow you to share screen and all of that good stuff.
Cool.
So those are the 3 apps that we suggest for today. And now, TJ, the floor is all yours.
Okay. Well, this week in social media news, there's a lot going on. Okay, let's.
I'm gonna have to move you over here.
All right, no problem.
There you go.
Okay, and let's start with YouTube. YouTube is giving live streamers the option to redirect viewers to other channels after the live stream is over. Now, they copied this from Twitch, and it's called cross-channel live redirects. Allow streamers to send live viewers to other channels, and it will let you. It doesn't really direct them. It pops up with, do you want to? So you have to give permission and say yes, you do. So it doesn't just send you to somebody else's channel. So you could send somebody to a video, or you could send somebody to another live stream of someone that you're affiliated with.
Now, I like this because there are a lot of times when I'm doing a YouTube and I'm like, you need to check out this video from Terry Johnson online. She talked about it today. Now I can send a person to your video.
Yes, after you do.
So how does that work? So how does that work?
Live stream.
Oh, okay.
You have to live stream, not upload a video. Because there's an autoplay. YouTube has autoplay on all their videos. So if you're doing a live stream and it ends, it usually just goes to whatever the next video
selects the next one. Yes.
Right.
Okay, here's your friend Mark. If I live stream, I will direct people to bad speakers so that they have a greater appreciation for me and what they do after.
That's one way to do it, Mark. Okay.
So what happens is when your live stream ends, YouTube autoplay feature will move your viewers to the stream of your choice, so that you get to decide. It's not arbitrary. So it can help your audience discover new channels, and it keeps people watching content on YouTube, which is the real deal behind all of this. YouTube wants you to stay on YouTube. So if you're doing a live stream and then you go, okay, bye, I'll see you next week or whatever, you don't want people to just leave YouTube. You want them to stay on. So that's why they're doing this. It's available to channels with over 1,000 subscribers. And it also has to have the approval of other creators before you can send your audience to their stream. So you have to get their approval. Note, if viewers have autoplay turned off, they will not be automatically directed. So see, you have to have that autoplay feature on. But a prompt will display on the screen asking viewers if they want to be redirected, and they can choose to say yes. Okay, so it doesn't just, because what if somebody who does the live stream and they're connected to a channel with content that you don't want, something, out of, I don't want to see that. So you don't want to be slammed into their content. So there will be a buffer of where YouTube will say, do you want to see what this creator has selected for you to watch next? And you can say yes or no.
Okay.
It's a good option. So they got that from Twitch. Twitch does that they have, because Twitch does the live streamers with the gamers. And so they watch people play games, and then when they end, they can connect them to someone else that, they may be partnered with or friends with or whatever, and say, oh, go watch their live stream. So that's what YouTube is doing. Next, Google has pulled the plug on the YouTube Go app. Now, does anybody remember or
I do not know.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a second.
Please.
So this was a lightweight Android app that they launched in 2016, and it was for users who had intermittent internet access or used lower end devices. So now most of the smartphones now are really high quality, so they don't have that issue anymore. So YouTube is discontinuing this app and telling people to go use the YouTube app. And what they did with this app and Go was they would download and save YouTube videos for offline viewing, because if you didn't have internet access, or your internet access was low or not good, you could download a YouTube video and watch it on your phone. So that's what you did with the YouTube Go. So they're getting rid of that, and they want people to use YouTube. Just go straight to YouTube, because now everything is good. So that's why they're getting rid of that. Okay, so let me save those. I think I had let me see. Oh, yes, Pinterest. Pinterest has launched a new TV studio app. It's designed to enable live stream creators to improve their streaming setups with multiple camera quality, improve editing tools, and more. Now, it's only available to selected users at this time. I don't know what the criteria is for who they selected. So this is what the quote is. Upon first launch, creators have to enter a code or scan a barcode that Pinterest provides in order to gain access to the live streaming tools the app provides. So it's not really out yet to the public. They're testing it with this small group. And so they have to, enter in a code, and then they can have access to the tools. Let's see what else. So it's not really out. They're just testing it. So it's something coming on, because Pinterest is really moving into e-commerce, shopping through the pins and all that. So now they're giving creators tools to do live stream and do shopping, like on Amazon Live. So they'll be able to sell. Okay, so yeah, that's Pinterest. Let me see what else I got. No Snapchat. Yeah, let's go to TikTok. TikTok has they're trying to improve creator relationships with monetization. They're having something called a Pulse program. It's called TikTok Pulse program. Enable advertisers to place their ads alongside the most popular content in the app, and it will also provide a revenue share pathway for creators, so they don't have to go and try to find a sponsorship deal on their own with a brand.
So it's going to be kind of like what YouTube does and put ads on your content.
Yes, exactly. So you have to have at least 100,000 followers in the first stage. So you have to have at least 100,000 followers to participate in the revenue share. TikTok Pulse, the brands will be able to place their ads alongside TikTok clips that are in the top 4% of top performers on any given day. So it lets brands ensure that they see maximum views by being tagged in trending content with the top creators. Now, this is going to launch in June in the United States, and then they're going to go to other countries in the fall. They will split the revenue equally between itself and the producers. So they're going to have a 50-50 split. Now, the appeal for this for creators is that if you have am I hearing myself echoing? Oh, maybe it's me.
Oh, you know how StreamYard gets a little.
Yeah, I hear I hear myself talking. Okay, it just threw me off. So, so this is how it's supposed to work. If you're popular enough, you can make money with every post. That will encourage more posts on TikTok, and then you won't have to rely on donations or sponsorships. It will also keep creators from jumping to YouTube for their program or Instagram for their creator program. And speaking of YouTube partner program, they generated 28.8 billion in ad revenue in 2021, and they give a big chunk of that being passed on to creators. So that's why TikTok is going down this route, because they have a creator fund, but it's not really something that creators like, so they're trying this post program. Also with TikTok is expanding test of the new Friends tab that's replacing the Discover tab. Now, I meant to look at this. Let me get my phone. I forgot. So the Discover tab is being changed to Friends. So let me take a look real quick. I forgot to look at this.
And if you all have your TikTok accounts, please go over there and play along.
Okay, so it's saying mine still says Discover at the bottom. So they're saying that the Discover tab has changed to a new Friends tab instead, which showcases videos posted by your connections as opposed to broader trending content discovery in the app. The Friends tab will highlight posts from followers that you follow back, accounts that you follow, and other suggestions. So I don't know. I don't have it. Mine says Discover. Maybe I need to update, but
Mine
Discover
still
tab
says
at the bottom.
Discover too.
Yes, it says Discover. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're changing. This is what they're saying. They're changing it to Friends. I don't know why. There's no explanation why. TikTok must have figured out, okay, instead of it saying Discover, it will say Friends.
I still see Discover on the bottom of mine.
Yeah. So that's what it's saying. So it's supposed to showcase videos posted by your connections as opposed to broader trending content discovery in the app. That one's a little weird to me. I don't know why they're doing it, but hey, it's TikTok. They're doing it.
How many of you have a TikTok account?
You should have one.
Yeah.
Even if you're using it, have it.
Right, because here's what I learned. Okay, TJ, we're on TikTok. So I am a part of a program called Movement Makers with Evan Carmichael, and he's really big on YouTube. I'm talking about really, really big on YouTube. And so I'm doing some YouTube training through that. Well, on our class that we had yesterday, he talked about TikTok is now preferred above Instagram for short form video.
I believe it.
And I wonder if do you want me to talk about this whole thing at once?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so the gentleman who's the CEO of Instagram, he made a post and he played the guy's post yesterday, and in the post, he said, YouTube is really big and TikTok is not far behind. And so we are doing some things so that, so because of that, Instagram is going to go all reels. It's no longer a photo.
Yes.
Posting.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Okay. So Evan Carmichael says, so that sounds like I need to be playing on YouTube and TikTok.
Yep.
Okay. Get a YouTube, get a TikTok.
Exactly right. Okay, we're gonna get to Adam Mosseri or whatever his name is, the CEO of Instagram, because that is correct. that they are going all in Reels, and they made some announcements to that effect. But before we go there, let's talk about Twitter. Twitter has added a lot of new spaces features, and I'm not even going to talk about the Elon Musk stuff because there's something new every day. The deal is not finalized. They have to go to the shareholders, and it's so many things that they gotta do. And Twitter has to function through all of this. So we're gonna talk about Twitter. Twitter is saying, "Hey, the horses are changing hands at the head at the top, but we're keeping going." So they've added some new spaces features. So one of them is analytics about your space. Hosts and co-hosts can now get information about how many total live listeners tune into their broadcast, how many times it was replayed, because you can set it up to have a replay, and how many people talked in the space. So the analytics are being introduced. It was a test in March, and now they're expanding it to everybody. So this will help you, know analytics are important because that gives you an idea of what's working. Is what I'm doing right now working? The numbers will say yes or no, depending on, you look at it and you see how many people came into the space, how many people did this, how many people shared, how many people watched the replay, and that pretty much helps you with your content. So, analytics, access to analytics is always a good thing. They're also testing a feature that will tweet out a space card once a host starts a space. Because when a host starts a space, it doesn't really go out unless they tweet something, or you're in Twitter and you see the little the purple circles at the top indicate that someone that you're following is doing a space, and you can tap on it and join. So they're trying to make it easier for users to engage and share spaces. So this will so you won't have to, and what I just said about the host having to manually tweet it out, this will replace that, so they won't have to manually do it. It will automatically send out a card saying, "Hey, so and so has started a space on whatever the person put the topic as." And one more thing for spaces, they're making it easier to learn more about the spaces when you're in the app. Now, I've seen this before, and I've had several people that I follow started spaces. So at the top, I've seen 2 or 3 bubbles, and then you just see the icon. So what they're doing now is they're going to give you more space to see what the space is about at the top. So they're putting more text in there. So in case you're not, you're following somebody and you're like, well, I don't really interact with them a lot, so I don't recognize the little avatar, the little icon, it will say at the top a little bit more about the topic, so you can tell whether you want to join it or not. So I thought that was pretty good. So that's it for spaces. Now Twitter is adding something called the circle feature. This circle feature is like your what is it on Instagram? Close friend? Is it close friends on Instagram, where you can have a private group, like a private DM group, and you can send stuff to that private group, and not the group, but it's called close friends.
Yes,
so,
I've seen it.
Right. So Twitter has that. It's called Circle. It lets you limit tweets to a group of as many as 150 people. So they're saying that this test is going out to a small group of Android, iOS, and web users. It's not clear if Twitter will expand this test, but they probably will. But we'll see that. So it's an option for, and Twitter has this troll harassment issue. So someone who may, if you tweet out publicly, you may get responses. And I've seen that on one of my Twitter accounts that I use, to talk about different things. It's not business. So on this other one, I've tweeted out stuff, and people that I didn't know responded to me. I'm like, well, I don't like that, because it goes into my notification, and it's like weeks later somebody's responded to it. I'm like, I don't like that. So what I started doing was I started limiting who can respond. You can do that in Twitter. You can say everybody, and then you can say only people you follow. You can limit it. But now there's another step called the circle, where you can say, I have a group of people that I want to share a tweet with, but it's only within that group. So there's an option when you do a tweet, everybody or a Twitter circle. and it's kind of like it's kind of like the DMs, but it's different. It's not in the direct messages. It's more like a subset of your Twitter followers, if that makes sense.
Like groups on Facebook.
Yes, exactly. You
That's
create
what
a
it
private
sounds
group.
like. Yeah. And so the people in the group, can they retweet what you?
Well, see, this is the thing. It's a test, so I don't know, but I'm thinking because it's private that it would retweet maybe within the group, not publicly.
Yes.
Because this is like a fence. Like you're putting a fence within Twitter saying, okay, I want to send a tweet to these people, and they're in my friends group called the Circle. And when I go to tweet, I only choose Twitter Circle instead of everyone, which is public.
Exactly.
So people on Twitter can have private tweets and the public won't know anything about it. Think like if 45 was back on and he wanted to send out a tweet to his little, his little people, he would do Twitter Circle, and then it wouldn't get out of the circle unless one of the people screenshot it or something.
Snitched. Okay.
Yeah.
You could always screenshot stuff on your phone and send it out. So that it really doesn't stop anything.
Yeah.
Right.
So they can get it out. Okay.
Our comedian Mark says today's Twitter space will examine whether the refrigerator light goes out when you close the door. Stay tuned.
Okay, so remember, you can add up to 150 people in the circle. And they're saying any tweets in the group is only visible to the people in that listing. But I don't know about the retweets. Would you be able to retweet because it's in a private circle? But I just said anybody can screenshot anything, and that's Facebook had that. Well, doesn't have that problem, but a lot of things that happen in private Facebook groups, people were screenshotting and getting out. Like I think I'm trying to think of something. It was something military wise that they had this one of the military services. They had a group that people that were a member of that military service, they were in a group and they were talking about something, and they thought it was private, and they were talking about assault on women. Something they were talking about.
That wasn't that the school board? They were having some kind of.
A bunch of these things have happened, and people have screenshot the phone or on the computer, and it got out to the public, but it was in a private Facebook group. So that's what I'm saying. You could be in a private group, but the larger the group gets, the more people have the option to wait a minute. I don't like what you just said. That's, something against the law or whatever. And they screenshot it and put it publicly. And I've heard a couple of things happen that's how it was. It was in a private Facebook group and somebody screenshot it and it got out. So just remember being in a public group. Now, this is the thing about Snapchat. Why people love Snapchat so much is that if you take a screenshot in Snapchat, it lets the person know. Like if they initiated a conversation with you privately, like a group of friends, Snapchat will tell you, hey, so and so took a screenshot, so that
Yeah.
it back. But I don't think the others do that. You could just take a screenshot and nobody will know in the group. So just keep that in mind.
Okay, Mark has a comment.
Okay.
Terry, you got it?
I got it. Okay.
Mark says, if you're planning to overthrow the government, murder someone, or etc., it's best not to put it in writing.
There you go.
Or on the internet.
What's the thing about Fight Club? Whatever happened in Fight Club, say in the Fight Club, something from the movie Fight Club. But that's what it is. If you don't want anybody to know about it, and this is another thing off topic, that law enforcement loves social media, because all they got to do is they have a social media team that they sit there and locally they can keep an eye on what's going on. Because if something's tweeted out or publicly on a Facebook, or if they get in a private Facebook group and they're like, oh, okay, something's going on, then they got their man or their woman.
You snitching on your own self by putting it on the. Come on now.
They law enforcement caught so many drug dealers, robbers, this and that, because they get on Facebook or Instagram or whatever and they brag about it. They take pictures of the guns, or they take pictures of the money or the rock, and look what and I'm like, you're stupid, because that could be tracked back to you. Even if you're in a private group, because somebody could screenshot it and put it out on Twitter saying, "Hey, look what's going on in this group." And law enforcement is like, "Oh, okay, let's keep an eye on it." And that's not illegal because it was tweeted publicly that somebody in the group took a screenshot.
That's where I saw it. Bev says, "Yep, the old Periscope did that as well. The screenshot awareness."
Yeah. I think that's an important tool. That's why a lot of people like Snapchat for the private discussions, private this and that. And then if somebody screenshots it, it says username took a screenshot. So
And Mark says stupidity is the crime for which we do not have prison facilities large enough to contain.
Lord help them. But see, that's what I'm saying. Law enforcement is they love social media. They love it.
And here's the thing, the people who are in law enforcement are of the age that know how to use.
They're the same age. Don't think it's old. Well, everybody in the sheriff's office or whatever is 60. No, there's young people in there. And they say, "Hey, did you know that you could go here, there, and there and listen on because it's public."
Mm-hmm.
Twitter's a public square.
Laugh out loud, busted.
Busted, and lots of people. I mean, law enforcement loves it, and news and journalists love it, especially Twitter, because they can find stories. Before, if they were a local reporter, they had to go out and canvass the town or scavenge around, at the local coffee shop or what to hear the news. You just go to Twitter now and type in your city and say, "Well, what's going on?" Somebody is going to have a loose lip sink ships. Is the saying.
And if you really want to get niche it down, you can go to, what is that, Nextdoor?
Yes. Oh, I forgot about them. Yeah.
And you could just be like, okay, you can get lost over in Nextdoor with all that drama that goes on. I was like, really? I got to get out of here.
Like being a fly in a wall. I have Nextdoor. I stopped using it because it was coming. All these little notifications were coming to me. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't got time for that. Right. I'm like, I mute my notifications.
Yep.
Otherwise, I can't get any work done.
Right.
Oh boy. So, all right. I don't know how we got on law enforcement, but there you have it. All right. So that is Twitter. So Twitter has that circle feature. It's a test right now. Check and see if you have it. How you can tell. I saw it on one of my accounts is when I went to create a tweet, and there was at the top it said everyone with a drop down, and I tapped the drop down and it said Twitter circle. And I was like, oh, look at that. It's there. So there you go. Okay. Let's go on to Instagram. Instagram is testing a full screen home feed. They're doing full screen vertical home feeds. What that means is that what Fran was saying earlier, what they're doing is they're focusing on reels. They're going in on video, and they want to make it look as much like TikTok as possible. So that means that the screen will be filled with the video or the post. They're making everything bigger. So Instagram post, the regular feed post with the graphic was a 1080 by 1080 square. Now they're moving to more of a longer TikTok image with like a story, which is what is it? 9 by 16 or it's this. They're going this route. They're going this route to fill up the whole screen now on Instagram. Why? Because of Reels and TikTok. They want more of that video. So Adam Mosseri, he confirmed this test. He put up a video saying taller photos and videos will be appearing in some feeds. So it's going to take a full screen post with comments, captions, like, and other features placed on top of the post instead of below. They're saying something about the stories bar is going to be moved. I think we mentioned that last week. Something about stories is going to move. So they're doing that because they want to emulate, copy TikTok. YouTube has shorts. They want to emulate, copy TikTok. I expect Twitter to jump in here soon once they get through with their problems.
Well, see, but they already had it. See, they let it go. They had time.
I know. Oh, speaking of that, I read this, was it this week or last week, that Jack Dorsey said that's his regret letting go or shutting down Vine. He said that was a regret because they did it too fast. I believe he said that this week. So, but
somebody talked him into that, because I was
woulda, coulda, shoulda. They should have stuck with Vine. Oh well.
Yeah, it was just catching on. Video wasn't, the thing yet, and they were at the forefront.
And people couldn't understand Vine. And I'm like, what's not to understand? 6 seconds, quick video, story time. Tell a story in 6 seconds, or connect 6 seconds to make it longer. But you're telling a story.
And that's what you do on TikTok.
Yes.
And they've given you 10 minutes now.
Yes.
But I was trying to figure out Reels, and they said, okay, you get 60 seconds, but then you have to tie up, you got to go 60 seconds, 60, 60, 60, 60 to make it longer.
Right. So you just think you're telling a story, which is really why you're on as a business owner. You're on to tell a story about your business, your brand, to get connections, to get attention, and to get people to follow your business online. So when they are ready to buy, they go to you. When they go to Instagram, you pop right up because they've interacted with your post. So you had to do some storytelling in there. You have to be creative. That's just how it is. The time of posting your lunch, or I'm just saying, and this is not against Mark, because I know Mark does quotes, but I've seen people that just throw quotes up because I need to post something today. Let me throw up a Martin Luther King Jr. quote. Well, does it have something to do with a story that you're telling? Then yes, do the quote. If it's just, I need to post something, let me slap up this thing. Winston Churchill said, I was like, what? No. Tell me something that I want to know that's going to engage me, and then keep me on your account. Because now with Instagram, I can switch my feed to favorites, and you might not be in my favorites. How do you get in people's favorites? You got to make content, tell a story that engages them, and they want to follow you. The game is changing. Everything's leveling up now. It's no longer you have an account. Oh, I got an Instagram account. Well, what do you do with it? Nothing. Well, you don't have an Instagram. Nobody following you or engaging with you. So you got to step it up and do more content. That's just how it is. More work. I'm sorry to say. And now with Instagram going all in on Reels, and I hear a lot of people, oh, I don't like Reels and this and that. And I'm like, well, you don't have to use Reels. But if you want engagement, that's where the eyeballs are right now.
And there are apps that can help you build videos really quickly. One app that I use is called Mojo.
Yeah, Mojo. Yeah. Another one is CapCut. That one's pretty popular. And Mark, Mark came in with his quotes.
Yeah, and Mark says, laugh out loud, my quotes are connected to my work and message for the day. It actually gets me a lot of subscribers on LinkedIn and Facebook. I guess that I will have to switch it up for IG.
I love that you made that comment, Mark, because he's saying it works on LinkedIn and Facebook. That's good, because those people are in a different mindset. With Instagram, you got to make it in some kind of reel.
And make it a video, and you can have animation on the text, or something. The picture comes in and
fly in. There could be music. There could be things drop, something eye-catching. But on Instagram, you got to do video and reels, because that's what Instagram is pushing. The CEO is telling us right now, this is what they're focusing on. So that means you can still post a graphic, but they're not going to push it like they push a reel. So think of, how can I do a reel with text? It's real easy to do. I use Vista Create is one, Canva is another one, that they have templates already. All you got to do is change the color and put your message in and put it on Reels and let the attention get in there.
I think Canva is probably the best place to go and create a reel.
Yeah.
Canva. When I'm on my phone, I have Mojo from my phone.
Yeah.
But if I'm at my desktop, I'll go into Canva real quick and
use the templates. Mm-hmm. Just pick one. Don't see, you're overthinking it. Don't overthink. I do it too. Don't overthink it. Just go, I like that. Let me change the color from red to blue. Let me type in my message, and whatever it's doing, wiggly, diggy, whatever, pop in this, let it pop, put it up, and keep moving. Because Reels is designed for putting them up. You just want to put them up. You're not creating a commercial. Correct. You know how when the brands create a commercial and they got the camera and the lights and the fashion and the stylist and the hairstylist, we're not doing that. Just go to Canva, get a template, pick the first one, don't over agonize, change it to your messaging, put it up, and let it fly. And then come back and do another one, and then do another, and then you'll see what works. Right. You say, hey, they like this one with this popping up. Let me do another one. Let me do more of that. So do that. But see, I like that Mark said that he's getting its engagement on LinkedIn and Facebook, because that's a different audience. Those are different people. They consume content differently than on Instagram. So when Adam Mosseri sends something, listen to him, because that's where they're going. So they're going to video and reels. Just like Fran was saying, Evan Carmichael was saying that you got to do more video now. But don't overthink it. Don't think production. Think quick message.
And that's it. It's short form, quick message. And I love that you said not a full production.
No, people think they got to shoot a commercial. Why? No. People want to see the real. I've seen so many women get on no makeup, this and that. So I don't care, but I want to tell you this, that, and the other. And it gets results. Or they go, let me show you what I'm working on behind the scenes. They're not putting up a big production. They're not doing an infomercial. They're just putting their message out. And guess what? Put one out, because reels are like potato chips, Lay's potato chips. You just eat them like that. And just do them. Canva's good. Canva's free, and they got tons of templates. Vista Create, one I use, is free. They got lots of templates. So you might want to do both and then see what kind of templates they have and switch it up like that. But do them. Put them out. Put them out. Put them out. Put them out. Okay, so that's your tip for today. Thank you, Mark. All right, so let's move on to the last thing, which is I have one more on Instagram. So Instagram is testing something called Get Quote for business owners. It will allow users to set up custom questions to ask customers prior to starting a conversation. Once the customer fills out a questionnaire, they can quickly request a quote from a business about a product or services. So select businesses can now put a Get Quote button on their Instagram profile or add a Get Quote sticker in their stories. So does everybody get that? So as a business, you can do a Get Quote, and they can, someone who's interested in doing business with you can request a quote about a product or service. So here's the statement from Meta. We're announcing new tools for businesses to manage conversations and ads, as well as more ways to generate leads and share more about their business. These tools can improve how small businesses connect with customers and identify high quality leads. So that's what it's about, this Get Quote. Okay, so you might want to take a look at that.
That's pretty good right there.
Yeah, that's really good. Okay, so that's from Instagram. Now, Facebook is going to pay creators for original content in Facebook Reels. So they're going to dole out additional bonuses to Reels creators who are publishing original content on Facebook. Remember, because now Reels is on Facebook now too. So they announced this at the New Fronts, which is their they have this week-long thing where they announce what they're doing. So they want to head off TikTok, and they want to have this option. So they're doing so they're saying the company repeated some metrics related to a video's traction, noting that 50% of the time spent on Meta's platform now involves video. Over 2 billion people watch videos with in-stream ads, and more than 700 million people are using AR effects each month. So this is another stack on the log of why they're pushing Reels and video. They're also introducing a new incentive called Challenges that enables Facebook Reels creators to earn up to $4,000 per month for meeting certain goals. So each month, creators will be able to participate in a set of challenges which build upon one another. For example, the creator might first earn $20 when at least 5 of their reels reach 100 plays each. After they accomplish that goal, another goal will be unlocked, like earning $100 when 20 reels reach 500 plays each. So this goes through a 30-day challenge, resets at the beginning of the next month to start a new set of challenges. And they're saying only select creators have been invited into the Reels bonus program at this time. So it's by invite only. So they're doing like a stackable challenge where you do one reel and it gets a certain amount of plays, you get $20. And then if it goes to another level of plays, then you get $100. So they're doing a stackable challenge.
Okay, but they didn't even let us in on when it was Watch, when we had it. Remember when it was Facebook Watch and we
yeah,
they've
been Facebook Watch is something they've abandoned because you haven't heard any news about it.
No, and then I was thinking about the table talks and all of this other stuff, and I was like, you hear nothing. There's crickets.
Now remember, Meta and Instagram, they penalize you if you repurpose video from TikTok. So don't do that.
So that's why you can use the like the Mojo and the Canva and all of that and post it.
Yeah, there's tons of video that lets apps that let you create video that have cuts and jumps and things because you want to keep people watching. So you want to
use those, whatever you use in those apps, you can use on all of your platforms. But if you use it, if you just use whatever's in TikTok, then it's
that a lot of people, and that I'm gonna say it, that's the lazy way. They said, well, I'm just gonna make a TikTok video and just put it everywhere and I'm done. Well, that's not gonna work because Instagram and Facebook, they can tell that little watermark from TikTok is there, and they're not going to include you in any other reindeer games. You're gonna be standing on the sideline going, what happened? You got to make original content. And again, we just said making original content is easier now with your phone. It's really easy and the right app, and you just record it, blah blah blah, snap, do some editing and put it up and go about your business. You got to be real quick with this because it's not like making a video for your YouTube channel where you can take time and do this, and this is more the fast track.
These are little snacks that you give people.
Yes, think snacks. Also, Meta is introducing a way for individual creators to track their bonuses in one place. They're having a Reels Play Bonus Insight page on Facebook. You'll be able to see how many plays of your eligible Reels receive within a given earning period. So they'll have an area where you can check your Reels and check the analytics on it. Now, the last thing from Facebook is shutting down its podcast service on June 3rd.
They had a podcast service? No.
Yes, they had a place where you could upload your podcast. Also, that live audio that they were working on, that separate Clubhouse competitor, that's dead.
The
audio live audio rooms, they're just pushing that into live. It's just going to be a part of live.
Dr. Tachi, are you clapping?
Oh, she's there. Good.
Oh my gosh.
So Meta.
Did I tell you?
Yes, you're right. So Meta says that it will no longer let podcasters add shows to Facebook as of this week and will remove them entirely on June 3rd. They had something called Sound Bites that's going to close, and live audio rooms will fold into Facebook Live. They're saying that podcasts that are already up there, you're okay, but everything's good until June 3rd. But starting whenever they made this announcement, users can't start publishing new shows. So you can't do anything new now, and whatever you have there will stay up until June 3rd. So here's the statement from Meta. After a year of learning and iterating on audio-first experiences, we've decided to simplify our suite of audio tools on Facebook. We're constantly evaluating the features we offer so we can focus on the most meaningful experiences.
The fact that they are simplifying anything, they get
Mark says video killed the audio star. Exactly.
It did.
That's a reference to an MTV video, which was the first video that MTV showed. I believe that was the first one they showed. Was Video Killed the Radio Star. I mean, did I get it right? Yeah.
The audio star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No,
the radio star. Video Killed the Radio Star.
Killed the radio star.
Yeah. So thank you, Mark. And that's it. That's your social media news update for the week. That was a lot of stuff happened this week. So
wow. And in that story that I heard earlier this week, they said Facebook is like a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Dinosaur. Yeah. Jurassic Park, people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I always call Facebook, the Death Star. It's around. It hasn't been blown up yet by Luke Skywalker. So it's still use it. But as you can see, the youth left it a long time ago. They're in TikTok land and they're in YouTube land. So that's where you want to be. Start building your homes in TikTok and YouTube. And let me tell you, YouTube is not an easy walk. It's a slow marathon. And you got to keep running. And you got to keep doing stuff in order to get to the part where, the YouTube partner program. So I see why a lot of people give up on YouTube, but I say don't. Because once you get there, what was it? 2.8 billion in ad revenues, I said earlier? I think it was 2.8 billion. Let me check that number.
Mark has a question.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this. I think it was 2.8 billion.
That's a lot.
I lost it.
Yeah, there was, I believe it was $2.8 billion in ad.
Yeah. I lost it. It's somewhere in here in my mini notes. But I think it's 2.8 billion in revenue. Mm-hmm. Mark says, where will the youth go once we drive them out of TikTok? They're gonna go underground.
They'll create something new.
I don't think there's going to be like big apps anymore. I think TikTok is the last one. Is going to be like big apps within a group, like Gen Z. Like, I'm glad Mark asked that, because where would they go? There's going to be an app that they like, and they're going to go to it, but it won't be a big Facebook, TikTok thing like that.
And in that training I did yesterday, they also said that messaging was going to be major. So, and now Instagram has the best messaging system right now, because you can direct message people all through Instagram.
Right.
But messaging like Discord and those messaging apps are going to be huge.
Yes, I forgot about Discord. That's where they're going to go. They're going to go to Discord, to private servers. So it's going to be private.
And Discord is very private, because we can invite you to Discord, but the link will go away in 7 days.
Yeah. 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 And Discord has all the tools you need to run a community. So that's where they'll go, Discord.
And
you can go live in Discord.
Right. You can go audio live and video live in Discord.
Yeah. You can go live in there and do what you have to do and say what you have to say. So there you go. All right, so Dr. Tachi's here. She's on deck.
Dr. Tachi, so glad to have you with us today.
Hey there, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's mighty hot here in the South. So air conditioning is on tonight. So I apologize if it's a little loud. But let's get to it. We actually had a guest on Media Scope this week. So I have some fresh stories, none of which we talked about on Media Scope. Now, this has caused a lot of interesting reactions. Do you all know who Kevin Samuels is?
Yes, I do.
So Kevin Samuels was a YouTuber, and he was a self-described dating a relationship expert. Well, apparently he's passed away at the age of 56. So he has 1.4 million subscribers on YouTube. And
really, that much? 4 million? 4 million.
No, 1.4.
Oh, 1.4. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Not 4 million.
Oh, okay.
There are 4 million stupid people.
Okay. Got
1.4 million He was known again for giving relationship and dating advice, but he and called himself an image consultant. So he was not certified, was not a coach or none of that to be able to give advice in any way, shape, or form. However, he did, and he often did it at the expense of Black women. And this is where it was, basically very misogynistic. His messaging was very misogynistic, and his relationship advice was very controversial. In fact, the last thing he said, he was slammed over a YouTube video that he put up last month, where he labeled women who were over 35 and unmarried as leftovers. He said, if you made it to 35 and you are married, you are a leftover woman. You are what is left. Excuse me. Men know there is something likely wrong with you.
Wait, Dr. Tachi, just wait a minute, because you can't see Terralina's face. Her surprise face. And I'm getting ready to say he said worse than that. That's not his worst thing.
Than that.
Yes.
So obviously this was an individual who had a problem with women. I don't know what happened in the past, but there was something wrong that caused you to have such hatred towards women, because this does come from a part of hatred. And of course, there were people that were on board with him, the uneducated fools, and I'm going to say it, that were on board with him. So there were all sorts of people that had a lot of things to say about this. And it's unfortunate that he passed away. Apparently, this is what happened. He lived in Atlanta, and Atlanta police were called to an apartment on East Paces Ferry Road in Atlanta just yesterday regarding a person injured. The police arrived, and first responders were performing CPR, but he eventually did pass away. So there was a woman in the apartment and told officers that he was complaining about chest pain. She attempted to help, but then he fell. So I don't know yet if it was a heart attack or whatever it was. This actually, the rumors of the death were circling last night, and I was watching a bunch of lives, and they were talking about this. I was like, are we sure that this has happened? Until I see documented proof, I never go with whatever the rumors are. And maybe, people have more inside information, particularly if you have a little bit more in terms of connections. But I was like, let me wait and see. So it's being reported. This is via NBC News, and it's there are several outlets that have reported this. So that's the thing. Yeah. So it's unfortunate. You never want to see anybody die, but it's also a testament to the fact that you need to live a life of value, and that you need to treat others in such a way where, if you see some of the things, you want to, there's always this exercise of how would you want to be spoken about when you pass on? Mm-hmm. I'm sure this is not what he wanted. Yeah. There's some really comments that are out there. It's like, wow, the man has died, but he left such an indelible mark on so many in a bad way that some people have nothing good to say, and that's a terrible thing, So
he put down a lot of women to their face on video. It's all on YouTube. It's all on Instagram. I saw some of his stuff and I was just immediately turned off. I was like, I don't want to watch this guy. And then like you said, last night on Twitter, they were saying that, he passed away. And people were like, no, they didn't believe it unless TMZ reported it and all kind of stuff.
Oh, great.
Well, they don't believe it until TMZ says it, but it was true. And because like I said, you didn't see Terralina's face. He said a lot of things. He would bring women on the live and they would, ask questions. He would just totally shut them down, completely crush them. But like talk about their appearance and, this, that, and the other. It was just really negative. So,
absolutely.
Okay.
So he was sort of like a shock jock for relationships with Black women.
Well, kind of, but...
Kind of.
There's a lot of negativity behind his advice. There was no, let's just say there was nothing positive that he would say and it was to Black women. Nothing positive. And they would come on asking questions, wanting advice.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
He was not helpful in the endeavor.
So,
So,
watch what you say.
yeah, exactly. So that is news, and it's all over the place in the world, I guess, of pseudo entertainment. But this speaks to the paradox of I love social media. I love live streaming and all of that. I believe in the power of this, and that gives you a voice away from gatekeepers who decide who gets to speak and who gets to be seen.
Yeah.
However, that's also the problem with these. There are no gatekeepers. Anybody can get on. Anybody can be seen. And somebody like Kevin Samuels, who had grossly wrong information, was sadly very misinformed, had no clue as to how to advise people on relationships because he himself was 56 and unmarried. They were giving advice about, okay, great. So he just did not know. He was inept in terms of knowing what to do in this area. People like that slip through all the time, and they will lead the conversation because they have loud voices, loud and wrong.
Right. And see, this brings up a part where you have to have discernment, and I'm talking about adults. And when you're talking about kids, I feel like as parents, you have to tell. I told my daughter day one, what you see on the internet that's not reality. That's not real life. That's somebody putting on a fake persona or act or whatever. So you have to think about, is this real? Is this advice that I should follow or whatever? So she knows not that stuff is just entertainment. But then there you have adults, and like these women, what I didn't like was these women were genuinely looking for advice and not getting it from, like Dr. Taji said, this person that was loud and wrong and had a voice and a platform. And that's the bad thing about social media. But the good thing about social media is that you have a platform. So that means there's an opening for someone coming from positivity and love, because there's a need for it, obviously, because they were going to this horrible man to ask him questions. Horrible man. You only looked at one video and you could tell that he wasn't in the right place. So with social media, this gives the opportunity for someone who is a relationship expert or a relationship experienced person or whatever you want to call it, that they have a platform to come on and say, hey, all that negativity, now let's move it on to the positive side because you guys need help. And somebody needs to come in and fill the hole, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's blame too. It's just like when we talk about, I always say this, that every oppressor has collaborators. To him and ask for advice. So you also have to take a modicum of the blame when you put yourself in situations that are unavoidable. You could have avoided that, and you gave him voice by going and legitimizing his fake practice. So it's unfortunate that he did pass away. We're still not sure exactly what's happened, whether it was a heart attack or what the case was. But it's still you unfortunately reap what you sow. But
yes.
Even hopefully his family, his mother, and everything, you're sending positive energy to them.
Yes. Yes.
So moving on from Kevin Samuels, speaking of YouTube, as Terry mentioned, or TJ, because we've got two Terrys. So as TJ mentioned, this week was the New Fronts, and the New Fronts are the digital equivalent of the upfronts. With the upfronts, that is where networks put all their television shows in front of advertisers, and that's where the advertisers decide where they're going to put their advertising. And it's the same thing with the New Fronts, but the New Fronts is for digital. So that's YouTube, that's TikTok, that's all of these places. Instagram has had a huge presence everywhere. So even at the Met Gala, they were actually sponsoring like the whole, part of the parties and such. So interesting. So YouTube has announced a partnership with Paramount at the New Fronts kickoff event. So it's an exclusive partnership with Paramount to live stream the world premiere event of the highly anticipated Top Gun Maverick at the Newfront presentation, which happened about 3 days ago. So it's going to allow fans to access the movie's red carpet premiere and other exclusive content. Yay!
Yay.
Announced a partnership between YouTube creator Jackie Ina, and I love Jackie Ina, and Pat McGrath Labs, and I love Pat McGrath. Now, Jackie Ina she is a YouTuber extraordinaire in the beauty realm. She's like probably one of the highest paid YouTubers. She is Nigerian, yay. And Pat McGrath Labs is a Black-owned beauty brand. So it's makeup. So they're working on a Bridgerton-themed makeup line.
Oh.
Yes. So
yeah, hop on that trend, baby.
Yes, exactly. So Bridgerton again. Here's another Black-owned thing. So we've got a lot there. And that will be YouTube's first live shopping event in the film and TV space. So you're going to be able to shop this live, and they talked about that. They talked about that there. So aside from these new partnerships, YouTube's kickoff event was co-hosted with United Talent Artists owned MediaLink. And it was live on news and advertisers, and it was more of an informational panel on how brands should approach the creator economy. So nothing huge that came from the YouTube camp, but those two things were what came out of that. So that was pretty cool. So look for those things coming up from YouTube. I'm actually pretty excited about the Jackie Ina, Pat McGrath, Bridgerton line. So it's going to be a live shopping event. I don't have dates for that yet, but when I find out, I'll let you all know.
Yes, let us know. I'm interested. Let me know. Yeah, let us know.
Absolutely. I'll be watching, even if I don't. And if you follow Jackie Ina, it's Jackie AINA. She's got 2 YouTube channels. So she's got 1 YouTube channel and then 2 Instagram channels. So if you follow her on Instagram, you'll be able to get up to the minute stuff with all of that. But I definitely will let you know when this is dropping and when the shopping event is. So good for you, YouTube. Let's move on to more Newfront's presentations. Vevo. Now, this is also YouTube. You know, when you watch an official music video, often you'll see VEVO on that video. They also have a YouTube channel, and they are adding long-form content to their programming. So at the Newfronts, they announced that, and it's a music video service for those of you who didn't get that, they're pushing further into connected TV. They're going to be adding more long-form content to their lineup, and this was just yesterday they made that announcement. Vevo executives said that new programming is going to include live performances and full-length concert footage. So they're also looking to lean into other programming with more artist and celebrity takeovers of channels and new weekly music video roundup shows. What does this sound like, guys, to you? To me, this just sounds like an over-the-top or digital version of what MTV and VH1 used to do. Now, they have really just pushed into the reality television space because, especially initially, reality television was cheap to produce. I wouldn't say cheap, but cheaper than other things. So it feels like Vevo, what they're doing with this, is taking over the old school role that MTV and VH1 used to have, with showing concerts, with having full music video shows. I can't now. MTV does have a lot of sub channels, and I don't watch them all. But when MTV was one channel, at one point, I can't remember. I don't know any music video shows that are on MTV now. So interesting. Let's talk about what they said. Vevo has embraced a TV everywhere strategy with a mix of linear channels and a new and improved Vevo On Demand app. While you can find our popular On Demand app across all major platforms, Vevo is a keystone for linear streaming services. For example, after years of the Vevo app thriving on the Roku platform, we now also program multiple Vevo channels as part of FAST, free ad-supported TV, lineup on the Roku channel. So if you're interested in what's coming up with Vivo, you can check them out on the Roku channel. They also have a YouTube channel, and that's what's happening in their camp. So if there's nothing else, let's talk what's been picked up on TV. Yay. And I'm a TV addict, so yay. Quantum Leap. Remember Quantum Leap, the series from the 80s?
Yes.
I loved it.
Okay. Well, there's a sequel. And I think I talked about it here, but if not, there's a sequel that they had a pilot for. They shot the pilot. It's been picked up by NBC. So Raymond Lee is starring in the drama from Stephen Lee. I don't know how to say his last name. I think it's Lillian, or Lillian, and then Brian Windbrandt. So it's been 30 years since the series signed off after a 5-season run on NBC, and now they've handed out a formal series order to the sequel. So it was formally picked up to pilot in January. They wrapped production, and it's one of a handful of comedies and dramas that's supposed to be in formal consideration for the 2022-2023 schedule. And this is actually written by Godfather and Alcatraz duo Stephen Lillian and Brian Windbrandt, as I said. So I thought you watched God Friended Me. Did any of you ever watch that?
Yeah, I did. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was, but we did a review of it on TV Channel. So it was pretty good. So I'm sure this makes sense. I'm sure it's going to have kind of a, not necessarily God Friended Me feel, but that kind of feeling, you know. So I'm sure it will be interesting. I have always leave well enough alone. It went off the air for a reason. We didn't ask you to reboot it. Leave it in the books. But never listens to me. And so now, consequently, we have Quantum Leap.
Well, there's not a lot on TV.
Right.
They're pulling at straws because there is not.
Yeah. There's not a lot of original ideas that, you know, that and then if Quantum Leap had a built-in fan base and people remember it, they would want to tune in and see. And I will tune in and see the new one, but if it doesn't, the writing's not there or something's off or it's not great, I'm not gonna watch it, regardless of whether it's Quantum Leap or whatever.
Right.
So, gotta be good.
Exactly. No, and here's the thing. So this is coming to NBC, which means that Kevin and I will have a chance to review this early since we are reviewers for NBC Universal. So when this comes up, we will review it, and you can take a listen on TV Channel and see what we think of it.
Okay.
Yes. So moving on, not much else to talk about, but let's talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yay!
Yes. So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is going to induct Dolly Parton, Eminem, Duran Duran, Pat Benatar, Lionel Richie, and more. More people. Eurythmics. They're one of my favorites. I love
Me too.
Right?
Yeah.
Carly Simon.
Yeah.
Priest. Jimmy Iovine. Sylvia Robinson. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Yep.
Long time. Harry Belafonte.
Really?
Yep.
Yes.
No, but I'm talking about it. Hasn't that been like a long time?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yes. Agreed.
Absolutely. So these are this is supposed to take place in November, and it will be in Los Angeles, downtown at the Microsoft Theater, November 15th. Well, so who didn't make it amongst the categories? Hold on, let's see. I'm trying to see. So there were 17 nominees. And then there are 9 who will have to wait till next year. So these are the 9. Beck, and I love Beck. Devo, I love Devo. Dionne Warwick, A Tribe Called Quest, the MC5, Kate Bush, Rage Against the Machine, the New York Dolls, and Fela Kuti. Fela Kuti should have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But I digress. So they're going to have to wait. So they didn't make the cut this year, but they were nominated. So it appears that they will, at least, for next year, get inducted. So congrats, excuse me, to all of the to all of the inductees.
Mark Ward said, I didn't make it.
Next year, you were on the list next year. I forgot to
Next year.
And Mark Ward, next year. All right, I have one final story for you. Let's talk about AMC Networks. They have hit 9.5 million streaming subscribers. And they affirm that they are going to be between 20 and 25 million by 2025. So this 9.5 million streaming subscriptions is for the first quarter of this year, up from just over 9 million, and sequentially. And in this new streaming world, they've recommitted to, as I said, the 20 to 25 million subs by 2025. So their revenues rose by 3% to 804 million, driven by growth in streaming and advertising revenue. And they reported an operating income of 64 million. Not bad. But their quarterly numbers actually fell short of estimates. And it's not just that. This actually was the case with Netflix. This was the case with a lot of people, a lot of streamers. And that hit the stock down more than 6%. But see, the thing is, we're still kind of not in normal times. I think that people you haven't realized that the world is starting to open up a little bit. Nobody said the pandemic is gone. It's still here. But people are just proceeding kind of with business as usual despite the pandemic. And so because people are starting to go back to work and people are not sequestered in their homes anymore, there's less of a demand for entertainment because you can't go anywhere else. So this is definitely going to affect. So I don't know why people were making projections based off of what you did during quarantine or a pandemic. That just doesn't make any good sense. And everybody did it. Maybe I'm the fool here. Maybe that's what you do. But you don't base your projections off of unusual circumstances. But that's what everybody did. And that's why everybody is down now. And of course, if you projected more than you should have been conservative with what you thought the earnings were going to be. So then when you surprisingly hit this, you're like, oh, well, we thought. I don't know. So in any case, that is the case with what happened. They said the sub numbers are a significant milestone, driven by the strength of our streaming brand and the depth of content within each of our offerings, and our acquisition of global anime content distributor Sentai, the HDIVE, I think it's High Dive anime streaming service. So here's the thing: they have AMC is going deep into anime, and there's a cult following, but there's still a huge following of people like anime. So that was a good move for them. So it is what it is. AMC, by the way, as you know, is the home of The Walking Dead. So
right,
good for you, AMC. And that is the media report for the week.
I have a question. So is this AMC the same AMC that owns the theaters?
Yeah, okay, yes. It's a different subsidiary, though. What I need to go back and look and see if it had been siphoned off to another company, but yes, it is.
Because you would think that they could run their first premieres or whatever on the AMC streaming
channel.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. But what I don't know is what the company breakdown is like, or whether or not that division had been siphoned off to another company. That initially, yes, it is the same, but I don't know now if it is. I would need to look and see.
Okay, it just dawned on me that's the same name.
Can I add a little bit on to that last story about the movie theaters while people aren't going? Because one of my email newsletters yesterday, they had a chart that was saying what is keeping people from going to the movies is high cost and lack of interest in films. So 55% said I am more interested in watching movies at home. 50% said it's too expensive to see the movies in theaters. And then they said millennials, 70%, and Gen Z, 80% are the generation most comfortable going back to the theaters. 50 baby boomers with 52% remain the least comfortable. So I thought that was interesting.
Because millennials don't think they can die.
They
Yeah,
don't care. But they can't say it's because of the pandemic or whatever, because that, you know, they did a survey and people was like, no, it's the cost of the movie, and you don't have anything I want to see, and I'm more comfortable at home.
And the food ain't all that great either.
I can eat barbecue ribs. I can do whatever I want at home. I got the big screen TV. I got the streaming service, so I'm good.
But
I haven't seen anything I want to see.
What's that, Tachi?
Yeah, no, but indirectly, you know, you're right, Carolina. Indirectly, it is because of the pandemic, because the fact that we had to stay home and that we were able to stream things, that more people were streaming than had before in the past, gave us an appetite. And what staying at home and watching something and having the choice of smorgasbord of food and experiences, and not having to share a bathroom with nasty other people who don't watch the reason this spread in the first place.
You're right. You're right.
It's a whole new way of consuming content, and that's why people don't want to. I've had a taste of the good life.
Yes.
Why would I now go back to the hell that was before?
But that's why I was saying about I started doing Amazon Fresh grocery shop, and I was loving. I'm like, oh, I'm not going. Once you get a taste of it, it's like, I'm not going. Why do the movies can come to me, the groceries can come to me, the things can come to me. I can stay in my house and be safe and comfortable and do what I like.
And as many people as I want can watch that movie. I don't have to pay per head.
You can call the family over and head, okay, we watching this today, and come on, y'all. We got 72 well, mine ain't 72, but we got
there's enough apps for us to watch it all together online. They don't have to be up in my house either.
Yeah, Mark said my popcorn at home doesn't cost $6, and I have real butter, and I don't have to hear you chew with your mouth open.
Okay.
Exactly.
Or hear people talk back to the movie.
Exactly.
Even though you probably, will talk back to the movie, it's okay.
Exactly.
But there was this whole, and I need to go back and look, because there was this whole influx of people who were interested in purchasing like home theater equipment, because whether it was projectors so that you could be outside and project it on a screen or on the side of your house, whatever the case may be, or whether it was just really trying to kit up your living room, or if you're lucky enough to have a second room that's a screening room, that type of thing. So there was an interest in doing that, meaning that you can provide, they have the technology to provide for you to provide the theater experience at home without having to leave, because it's just like, for example, for some meetings, there's some meetings that I would go to before, and we would be there in person. And sometimes, if it was getting too late, because it was a meeting that I'm like not a chair, I wouldn't have to be there. If I was about to be too late and it was already going to take me 45 minutes to get there, I would be like, yeah, I'm not going. And then I would let them know I'm not going to make it. But I made every meeting once they went online, because that meant I didn't have to get in my car, drive 45 minutes, the 45 minutes back. I didn't have to leave, which means if I'm driving 45 minutes, I have to get out of here on time. So there's a whole thing to that. This, I'm like, I could be there in 5 minutes.
And see, my own personal reason for being at home and watching the movie, because I watched the Batman. I'm like, okay, I don't know how many iterations of Batman we can have, but okay. So I watched it, and it was really good. And I love the fact that I can go, wait, what was that? And rewind it and I was like, wait, I missed something. Pull that.
Yes. You back it up and like, did I hear that? What was that?
Right. In the theater, it's gone, and you missed the moment. But
and then you got to make sure you don't drink too much soda, because then you got to get up in the middle and go to the back. All of that is gone.
It's all gone. It's gone. Experience that we have that we've never really had before. I mean, it's always been there, but I don't. I think people are like, oh yeah, we got to go to the first run, but now you're thinking about, do I really have to see it when it first comes out? Do I really want to contend with what I know is now out there? Because, you know, even before COVID, COVID just exposed the wahala that was already going on. People already didn't wash their hands.
Yeah.
Oh,
We just didn't know that all of that foolishness was causing the pandemic stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, oh wait.
Exactly.
and
There are other illnesses too. You know, you think about you get a cold or what, because nobody is sanitizing or doing anything. So, you know, those types of things make you more vigilant when it comes to where you choose to spend your time. And I think it's just a sign of the times, and I think it's okay. I think theaters are going to have to roll with it or find an avenue to include that in their strategy. You so could, you're just hell bent on not changing. And that is going to be the death of some of these outlets if they're not careful.
Right. You're gonna have to find a new use for that theater.
yeah, and the ticket price is $15.
And the streaming fee is $14, and I get a bunch of movies.
One movie. I know.
I do, I do the whole, I will turn it on for this month, watch all the movies that I want.
Yeah, turn it off.
And then when they got another movie I want to see, I'll turn it back on.
There you go. That's the way
how you do it.
That's the Tachi method of watching. I learned.
Can I add one more thing before we go? I want to mention, only because I'm a Game of Thrones fan. They have a prequel series called House of the Dragon. The trailer came out this week, so it's going to be on HBO in August. So it's one of the prequels that they had in production. I think there's several of them. So I was just bringing that up. That a lot of people excited about that.
Okay, because I might need to go see the Game of Thrones because I never watched it. Dr. Tachi.
Well, I wait before you go to Dr. Tachi. I will say, if you haven't watched Game of Thrones, when you watch the first episode, that will let you know if you like it or not. So watch if your reaction to the first episode will let you know whether you want to continue watching.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just watch one.
So this past week I have so the Godfather is 50 years old.
Yes.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, it is.
I remember going to the theater and seeing that it was the Godfather and Lady Sings the Blues. Both of them were in one showing. And it was like a couple of bucks. Yes, it was.
See, that's the thing. It got overshadowed because they did something at the Oscars this year. It got overshadowed, but that was one of the things that they mentioned. I believe that was 50 years old.
Right. So I watched both of those that day, Saturday afternoon or whatever day it was, and so we got to see those two movies. So now on the Godfather, on Paramount, I think Paramount, they're doing how the story of how they tried to get the Godfather 2 to be made, the movie.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, wow, and this is the story of how the movie came about. I was like, that was some shenanigans happening on the backside. The real mafia, they didn't want to be called mafia, right. But they were all, and people were talking about, yes, Mark has it on there. The Offer on Paramount is really good because they were going through some stuff, threatened by the mob to stop the movie and all kind of stuff. And I was like, what?
I love a good backstory on a movie.
And this is a good backstory on the movie. I wish they would just put them all up so I can binge them and be done.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's on Paramount Plus?
Yes.
I'm going to have to find that.
Your stories. Just go ahead and do this. Because you already know I'm not paying for Paramount Plus. But I look forward to your stories about
it was really good. And I had no clue, the guy who wrote the book, Mario Puzo.
Yeah.
he lived through that. You know, he got to see that kind of lifestyle all the time, and he was like, he was afraid to write the book because of the retaliation.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
I was like, okay, this is
Oh, that's
good.
right up my alley. Because there's something on Netflix. I forgot the name of it. That they go through the backstory of the movie, like all the famous movies. And I watched a couple of them. And I was like, it's good. It's on Netflix. I can't remember the name of the series.
So now we have given you something for entertainment purposes that you can do. We've given you tech that you can use and social media, everything you need to have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wait, Mark is giving us some tidbits here. There's a promo offer for Showtime and Start via Amazon Prime for $1 right now for 2 months. Oh, Stars, Showtime and Stars via Amazon Prime. Showtime and Stars via Amazon is $1.
Oh, that's awesome! I could do $1.
Yeah.
So what is on those channels?
Okay, now okay, I'm not a Showtime fan.
I haven't watched Showtime in a while. I don't know.
Because they were all old stuff to me.
Like what that Power Book 2 or whatever, the Son of Ghosts. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Ghosts of Christmas Past, whatever it is.
Ghosts of Christmas Past.
But yeah, that's why I'm like, I can do it just to see what's there, but something tells me I'm going to be sorely disappointed. But it's great. It's great that it's $1.
Right. Well, they're trying to get people in there. And like we all know, everybody's trying to get your attention. All of the streaming services are trying to reel you in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The name of the series on Netflix is called The Movies That Made Us. So they do like Friday the 13th, RoboCop, Aliens, Coming to America, Elf, The Nightmare Before Christmas. And they go through and they talk to all the production people and they talk about how it was when they made the movie. Very interesting. I was right. Called The Movies That Made Us.
Yep. Okay. So that is our Tech Life Weekly for the week. Thank you all for joining us live on the replay in Clubhouse, YouTube, Facebook,
everywhere.
Twitter, Periscope. Okay, well, Twitter.
But now Periscope is dead.
Yeah, but at least they didn't kill Twitter. Video.
Well, we'll see.
Yet. Okay.
Yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, guys, I just want to encourage you and thank you all for tuning in and to ask you to please support our YouTube channel. We'd love for you to subscribe to the BizChicks YouTube channel and to follow all of our contributors, Dr. Tachi and TJ. We just want you to know that when you follow these guys, you are going to get some really valuable information. So with that, Fran?
Yeah. If you'd like to be a part of BizChicks, you can go to bizchicks.net. And we appreciate you becoming a part of the community. We want to showcase you and what it is that you do as well. So join the community. We are on Discord as well. When you go to bizchicks.net, you can click and get to our Discord channel from there. So join us at bizchicks.net. We look forward to seeing you and working with you.
And we want to remind you to go to the front of your own line. We'll see you Monday. Have a great day. Thank you again for spending time with us. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.